Paul.
Hey, Maria. How's it going?
How's it going?
Good.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm here at Edge. We're about to give a master class for some people who won a contest way back when. I'm here by myself, so that's why I'm maskless for the time being. So, now you found me.
Cool. So I figured I'd ask you 21 questions. I'm going to hop right into it.
Sure.
So tell the audience, what kind of photography do you shoot?
I shoot a broad range, aerial, city, landscape. I also do a whole lot of portraiture and headshots and weddings and events. But I'm mostly known for my cityscape and for my aerial photography.
Cool. And so what exactly will you be shooting today at the Edge?
Today is a sunrise event, so we are going to be seeing the city come alive from on top of this marvelous observation deck.
Cool. And how have you been using your time during this pandemic?
Oh, the pandemic, yeah. Well, that's been a challenge. There's been a lot of pivoting and from the plan that you make for yourself for 2020, but basically just trying to find people and companies who may have some budget because they had to change their plan as well, and are willing to try something new. So I've been working with, I just finished a campaign with Canon cameras, Canon USA, where we did the Canon Road Trip throughout the Northeast, chasing fall foliage, waterfalls, even a wild elk herd in Pennsylvania, so that was pretty cool.
Cool. And tell us what got you started in photography.
That's actually a funny story. I was going to New Mexico, Santa Fe area, and I had a little point and shoot. It was Canon, and I'd never been there before, so I just started taking pictures. I was enamored with the landscape, and I really remembered, because I did take a little manual film class when I was in high school, how much I enjoyed it. So it just kind of re-sparked that, and slowly but surely I would bring my little camera with me everywhere I went, and then it just the obsession started to grow into thoughts of maybe I can do this for a living, and then had some encouragement from other photographers, started learning as much as I could, started shooting as much as I could, and over time, years, it grows into what you see now.
And so what's your go-to camera and lens now?
Right now, I am shooting on the Canon EOS R5, and I have my 16-35 version 3 lens for some nice wide views to see off the deck here.
And what made you so fascinated with aerial photography?
It was, we're talking 5 years ago now, beyond 5 years, and it was just something new and exciting that was happening in New York, and seeing New York, the most photographed city in the world, from a different perspective was something that I knew I had to try. After answering this particular question time and time again, I've always, even as a kid, I always wanted to climb to the highest place to see the most that I can see. Growing up in the Northeast, we have a lot of trees. The sky is small, so when you're given an opportunity to see a vista, it's completely different for us Northeasters. So that was really kind of part, being influenced by social media, but also I want that experience for myself.
And you shoot other styles of photography as well, though, right? What other styles are your favorite?
Let's see. I really do enjoy working with people, and as stressful as they can be, I love the evolution of relationship on a wedding day. There's the bride and groom who you would have spent some time with, getting to know them, planning out the day, et cetera, but it's the family members that really make it fun. Everybody starts off a little bit skittish and scared and standoffish, but as the day goes, and I'm sure the drinks flow a little bit, everybody loosens up, and we all tend to have a really, really great time together.
That's great. And so what is your concierge photography service?
Right. Concierge photography is a subpage that I have on my website, and it is an offering to folks who are going on that once-in-a-lifetime vacation with their family. Maybe they're going to a city, or they have the wherewithal to go to, private island or something along those lines. It's extreme and luxury based, but basically I would accompany you on your vacation, and I would get up and do all the sunrises and sunsets and get all the quaint little corners of wherever you're deciding to go. And then based on your desires, we would do a family shoot. And at the end, I would present you with an album of your incredible vacation to the most wonderful place in the world.
Wow, that seems like the dream job.
Right, yeah, I've had no takers yet, but I'd leave it up there just in case.
Cool. And so do you have any projects you're working on or coming up?
You know what, I'm still actually kind of cleaning up and rounding out the last campaign that I was on with Canon. So right now my focus is definitely on that and making sure that we get everything, all our T's crossed and our I's dotted. But yeah, there's hope for more. And as we get into the winter months, finding something new and exciting to participate in.
Cool. And so what's your favorite part when shooting aerials?
Well, I guess probably finding that unique perspective, right? This is a 13-mile island, and the flights that I do around here don't vary too much unless I make a special flight plan for the island. So to find something, to be able to frame it and so that it's recognizable, but also a frame that no one else has shot before, which is kind of hard on this small little tiny island, is what I'm always going for. I'm always looking for that one shot that, like, for me, I'm happy with.
And so what are some tips for somebody looking to capture the perfect photo from above?
That's a very specific question. I would say being comfortable and knowing your camera as much as you can before you go up. Settings change from shooting out and getting that kind of broad perspective and panorama to looking straight down. So you have to be quick on your feet, and you have to know, or at least try and set up your shot settings-wise before you're right where you need to take the picture.
Right. And so you're clearly not afraid of heights. Are you afraid of anything else?
I'm not a huge fan of spiders, just because they're this big and they are very menacing to me.
And what has been the coolest place to fly over and photograph?
Let's see. I have to say it was Gates of the Arctic National Park in Alaska. It is, I believe, the second largest national park in the national park system. It also has no roads, has no access point. There's no hut to welcome you and somebody to look. It's just like you're going in. And a lot of people who are climbers will get flown in and dropped in a certain area. And but we had an opportunity when I was up there last summer to capture that beauty. And that was, I don't know, I mean, you're in the Arctic Circle and you're 100 and some odd miles away from the Arctic Ocean. So it was one of those things that'll stick with me for a long time.
That's amazing. And is there a location on your bucket list?
I would love to do some work in the Southwest. I've had an opportunity to fly over part of the Grand Canyon while I was out doing some work in Nevada, but I think definitely the ability to see some of the landscapes from above in Utah would be absolutely amazing.
Sunset or sunrise?
I'm a sunrise guy. Yeah, definitely. As you can see, I'm here for sunrise. But for me, sunrise is special because not everybody has the go-getter attitude, and a lot of the times I'll get the I'll get the shot that nobody else has, which is really, really cool.
Does it ever get old going up on a helicopter?
No, not really. To answer your question succinctly, no. There's just so much to see, so many things to look at and try and capture, and it's just what you're choosing to do that day to fill the time.
And is there a corner of New York City that you haven't captured yet?
Yeah, I've done a few flybys of Coney Island, but I think the most unexplored area for me would be Queens. Like I want to fly over the giant globe out there in Flushing Meadows Park in springtime and get some of that kind of look down action with all the flowering cherries that are out there. So that's probably the next shot on my have to get shot list for sure.
Sure. And if you weren't a photographer, what would you be?
Oof. I mean, I know what I was before. I was a landscaper, but I think I would probably be pursuing music more, as that's what my degree is in, and I was teaching music lessons for 20 years, so some way I'd be either writing music or trying to continue that gig lifestyle that I seem to be stuck in for my entire life.
And what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
That's an interesting question. You know, there's a few mottos that you have in your life, and some ones from when you're working physical labor jobs is kind of like work smart, not hard. But I think the one that means the most is, to me, is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So put in the time, learn your craft, make sure that you're diligently pursuing what it is that you've set your goal to be, and work at it, because it's not going to just happen.
Awesome. And aside from your camera, what's your favorite piece of gear?
I don't know, I guess my computer, right? Because if I didn't have my computer, I wouldn't be able to, craft my photos into something that's a little different, it's unique, and it's personal to me. So yeah, my laptop.
And if there were to be a movie about your life, who would play you?
Man, I don't know. I feel like it would be like a combination of Seth Rogen and James Franco mixed into one person. I mean, the Seth Rogen-esque person, but I don't know, something like that.
Cool. And last question, who should we interview next?
I would recommend Eric Hercules. He's a huge proponent for the community. He's an incredible creator. He's precise, he's educated, he knows what he's doing, and he's created something that's unique unto himself.
Okay, perfect. We'll call him right up.
All right, awesome. Well, as you can see, we're getting some good light, so I'm going to head out there right now.
Get out there.
Thanks, Maria.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
See ya.